How are things going?
Good.
Good. You were over to a conference and became a fellow.
Well,
You're a jolly good fellow?
I applied for a position with the National 0 to 3 Network. It was an application process for a fellowship, and I was granted a fellowship in November. I'm going to spend 2 years working with the National 0 to 3 Network to build capacities for parenting educators in Schenectady, hopefully expanding parenting education in Schenectady.
And as an aside, he is a parent. He has 5?
4.
Four.
I'm a parent of 4 boys.
4 boys.
12
yeah.
to 20.
Yeah. So you certainly understand parenting.
And I've been working at Northeast Parent and Child Society. I'm still working at Northeast Parent. One of the first things people are asking me is, have you left Northeast Parent and Child Society? No, I'm still there. I'm still teaching parenting education programs.
And they're going to be on next week, by the way. Yeah.
The parenting program
Yeah.
is 10 years old at Northeast Parent and Child Society. My intention now, though, is to look at expanding parenting education to meet newer emerging demands in the community. And the reason why, of course, I've been doing this for 10 years is to try to prevent foster care placements or to send children home sooner out of foster care to get them back home to their parents.
But many times the parents need to be re-educated to understand the situation with kids.
Parents need support. Parents need help, and that's what I've been doing for years. And I'm looking at further developing the support that parents are able to get through these new initiatives that I'm looking at trying to add into the parenting. And right now I'm going through a series of residencies with the fellowship through the 0 to 3 Network. They're working really hard to train us. It's a diverse group of professionals. There are 10 of us. There's a woman that's a family court judge in Georgia. There's a professor from St. Louis.
What a nice,
A child psychiatrist from Australia. So this is a very broad range of people that I'm working with. And we're all bringing our strengths together to work and help each other develop our projects.
Now, is there a outcome? I mean, have they seen a result, or is this in the process of getting rolling?
Well, the fellowship program has been in existence with the National 0 to 3 Network since 1981.
Okay, so they do know the effectiveness of it.
And what they do is they provide these intensive experiences. Our residency, our first residency was really around adaptive leadership and adaptive leadership skills, and how do we collaborate, and how do we bring other people from the community in. So one of the things I really appreciate about what we're doing is we're looking at intentionality in our work, how to foster collaborative relationships. And this isn't just me doing the work. I'm going to be joining with a bunch of people to do the work.
Yeah.
It's really looking at how to develop a collective impact with all the collaborators in the community too. I'm learning an awful lot. It's really about changing our way of thinking. Instead of me doing, it's how do I bring other people in, and how do we all work together?
Working to partner, it's stakeholders and partnerships. I mean, we really have to work together to break this cycle that's out there.
And how is it that we're going to integrate all of our services to work together and not duplicate what's going on?
Well, that's true, because the duplication doesn't really, it's just a waste when you duplicate too much. So you need to really focus. People need to focus.
And one of the other things that I had mentioned to you is, when I was with you the last time, I was talking about my credentialing process through New York State. I'm a New York State credentialed parenting educator. New York State began a credentialing process for parenting educators 5 years ago, and I'm coming up on my reaccreditation. I was last year in 2013. I was given a Tier 3 Senior Parenting Educator credential, which is a master's level equivalent, and my credential is got to be renewed this year. So I've been working diligently for the last year and a half, and one of the ways I can earn my re-credential is to become a parenting educator in another program.
And so that's what you're doing.
I brought these books. I've researched this program, the Incredible Years program. Carolyn Webster Stratton is the designer of this program, and these classes do not duplicate what I've been doing at Northeast Parent and Child Society. They actually are meeting unmet needs. For example, this is the preschool program. This is the book that parents get that are in the preschool program. The parenting program that I've been teaching is a 7-week program. It's very short, very brief. This program is a 24-week program. The Active Parenting Now program that I've been teaching for years is using studio families and their vignettes. Incredible Years program uses actual live parents in the moment, practicing the skills, or maybe even making mistakes in practicing
That's
some
how
of the
you
skills.
learn things, right?
And it's a more intensive program. It's 24 weeks.
How do you get parents to join into this program?
Well, many of the parents I serve right now are primarily referred through the Department of Social Services,
okay.
and the grant at Northeast Parent and Child Society our program is primarily serving the Department of Social Services. But people, we do get United Way funding, so I can take people from the community, and I have people call me a lot. Every time I do your show, I usually get within 5 to 10 calls. Of course, many of these people I had a call from a guy from Florida the last time I was on. And he said,
well, we are on the internet.
He said, can I participate in doing an online course with you? And that's actually part of one of the goals of the development, hopefully.
And hopefully that will work.
And then this is another exciting new program.
And I just put one Incredible Toddlers up there too.
This one I'm doing privately. This one is actually a duplication, but this is not. The baby program at Northeast Parent and Child Society, I'm doing the credentialing and the certification for this class. This is for parents of babies newborn to 12 months old. And this is my most favorite class right now. It's really important. One of the mottos of 0 to 3 is early experiences matter. And my intention in the last few years has been, how do I reach parents sooner? How do I reach parents at birth?
If you start, the earlier you start, the better you've identified with your baby. In other words, you've made that bond, and now you move forward with it.
And there are so many parents that they have the baby and they're like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
How do I find
Nobody
time?
trains you for this. You don't get a license, do you?
No.
I mean, you got a license to get a baby, right?
So my goal is to try to develop the parenting education program, and I've got 3 areas that I'm doing that in. I'm looking at using diverse approaches, Incredible Years, Active Parenting Now. I'm hopefully looking at, not hopefully, I am going to be going to Boston Children's Hospital and being trained with the Brazelton Institute and doing the newborn behavioral observation assessment.
Wonderful.
And I'll be working with parents as the babies are born to help them learn how to look at their baby, look at their baby's temperament, look at how their temperament either complements them or is maybe in conflict with them, and understand that their babies are talking to them, moms and dads.
They're communicating. This is the only way they know how to communicate.
Babies are born learners.
Yeah.
And one of the important things that we've learned so much about is that babies are not just born into this world with nothing. They come into this world 9 months old already.
That's right.
And their brains are in constant architectural building over a 3-year period. We know that from 0 to 3, those are the most important years in a baby's life. So the other part of my goal is to also strengthen parents in providing knowledge and support to them by maybe eventually developing some online courses, some webinars that will complement the parenting education program.
As people become more sophisticated with the internet, it would work quite well.
One of the biggest things I get, one of the biggest pieces of feedback I get when parents finish is, how can I continue to get some help? How can I, and I have to say, well, our group process has ended. And then everything ends, and I want to try to provide parents with some support ongoing. And also, the third part of my goal is to improve access and response time for people. Sometimes people sit on the wait list to work with me for a long time. So I'm going to be looking at how to develop some collaborative relationships in the community, maybe in the health centers, in the schools, early intervention. My goal and my hope
You need a team. You can't do it all yourself, Wales.
Well, no, I can't. And that's,
Yeah.
And if we're going to be able to expand access to parenting education, we do have to add in parenting educators. Some of the things that parents can use, though, and I said I can't forget to mention this. 0 to 3 has been a real incredible resource to me for several years as a parenting educator. I was involved in a training, Prevent Child Abuse and Neglect, with them 3 years ago through the Nelson Rockefeller Institute, connected with SUNY. But some of the other things that they've got for parents, you don't have to have money or resources. The internet is a good place to start. But
that's right.
if you have a smartphone, 0 to 3 has an incredible app called Let's Play. It's a free app, and it breaks down the age groups between birth to 3 years old and has activities for parents to learn.
It's a free app?
It's a free app. Parents can access that app from iTunes. I believe it's also for Android. But you can find activities that you can do to help your children learn skills and build skills in language, social, emotional development.
So they're prepared when they have to go and interact with at a school, right?
There's another free resource that's recently been added to the site, which is incredible, called The Magic of Everyday Moments. There are 4 videos that talk about the importance of how much children learn from play and how important it is that parents play with their children.
So
reading
important.
to children
That
about-
interaction is so important. We know that.
Well,
we know that you've got to interact with your child. You get a child that's never communicated, they don't speak, they don't know how to communicate.
Well, and we start from the very beginning days of birth. I mean, we want to read to our babies to teach them language and help them build language.
Hopefully the people want to do it. Well, I could talk to Wales all day on this because I think what he's doing is such a fabulous thing. Wales, keep it up. Keep going and come on the show again and keep us posted on how this is progressing and how people can get involved with it. How would they get a hold of you, Wales? Can they reach you through parent?
Well, I believe my
website is up there?
My email is,
okay,
I believe
good.
my email
Yep,
is
there
on
it is. Okay, good. So give them a contact and find out more about it. It certainly is a way of making that bond work and creating children who become responsible and happy adults.
And I'm doing private work outside of Northeast Parent and Child Society. So, my goal is to
You'll be a consultant too.
To do do this incredible year's Toddlers program, but also they have autism and language spectrum disorder class that I'm
That's
offering
really
privately.
good. Wow, you're doing it all.
Thanks.
I don't want to touch you because I got a cold.
Oh,
So I'm going to give him a little pat on the arm. I'd love to give him a hug, but I can't do that right now. So anyway, so good to see you, Wales. I'm
Thanks,
so happy you're with us. And I'm going to take your mic off.